from Aravind, and in this particular talk, this is one of the talk that I'm the most excited about. It's an AMA session on certifications, and we'll be learning about there are so many Kubernetes certifications, for example, CKA, CKAD. Will be joined in the panel by Sayam, as you can see on the screen. So Sayam, he's a CNCF traffic port trainer ambassador. The list of certifications for Sayam goes on and on. Since CKA, CKAD, CKS. I work with Sayam as well. So currently, he works as a director of technical evangelism at Civo, with a focus on defining the Civo cloud platform for simplifying Kubernetes and making it accessible for developers. And I'll let Sayam, talk more about what he enjoys doing as a hobby later on. Another person who is going to be joining us in the panel is Nipendra, who is the founder and principal consultant at Cloud Yuga. He's a CNCF ambassador and a certified Kubernetes administrator. He co-authored the Introduction to Kubernetes course for CNCF on edX. So make sure you check that out in case you're interested in learning more about, the Kubernetes, and which has now been taken with more than 180,000 users around the world. So super excited for this session. It's going to be a live interactive session. So first of all, thanks a lot for joining, folks, and really looking forward to it. For those of you who are joining, I see around 230 plus people have joined. Feel free to ask your questions in the chat. This particular session is also being streamed on YouTube, so you can ask your questions over there as well. But how is the day going for you all? How are you liking the event so far? Let's start with Nipendra.
Yeah, guys. So it's been awesome to be part of this event. Before being a part of the organizing committee, but as a part of this day itself, right? Just a way of tremendous response what we're getting all over the thing. And again, thanks to all the speakers, presenters who's kind of making it really kind of interactive and not feeling like that we are somewhere. The recorded videos are running, right? It's kind of happening pretty awesome. And then thanks for you guys to running the show. Yep, pretty good.
Yeah, the sessions are going really well, as Nipendra mentioned, and the organizing team has put a lot of time in organizing this so that it can be streamed smoothly. And we are now switched to 1080 as well. So I think everything is going smooth, and people are interacting very well on Slack, on Bevy platform. So I think a lot of interactions. There's networking room. People are over there. The speakers are going to the networking room, and you can have a chat and word with them as well. So really excited, especially for this session, because that is something that Nipendra has been doing for a long time. Now I also have been doing for a long time. So certifications is something we get a lot of questions for, and we thought let's do a live kind of Q&A session for the folks. So yeah, really excited for this.
Cool. So let's kick off the particular talk. Maybe we can start by discussing about why certifications. Why in the first place would anyone want to get those? So maybe Sayam, you can start.
Or you can start.
Anyone.
Yeah. Anyone. So Kubernetes certifications, first of all, are one of a kind. So it's not something like the MCQ kind of like you get a question and you get multiple choice and you select the answer. So it's a complete hands-on, exam where you get a proper terminal, and you'll be getting a different set of clusters. You'll be getting problem statements, and you'll have to solve them and get a certain output. Sometimes store certain output in a particular file. So there are a lot of scenarios. And that is where Kubernetes plays the certifications of Kubernetes plays a very important role. Now it also helps you learn, because when you are practicing all these things, there's a learning curve involved, and you will be learning a lot of things because you'll be practicing a lot, because the exam is like that. So you have to have that specific knowledge. You have to be well versed with all the kubectl commands, like kubectl create deployment, kubectl run nginx -image nginx. You have to know some of the tricks while you are typing, so that you are fast, because these exams are really time bound. So most of the common feedback is like they didn't get time to complete the exam. So that is very important. So obviously when you are at that level giving the exam, so you have gone through that learning curve, so means that you will be having that sort of knowledge. So that's where the exams plays a very important role. And obviously certification adds credibility to your resume as well. So you will be like you'll be getting a fancy badge, and you can show that you are the CK, CKAD or CKS certified.
Yeah, if you have been old enough like me, right? I don't know if you have given these RSC exams, which has been like so popular in 2007, 8, and is still there, right? So if you have taken those exams, right, to become an RSC certified was like a dream, right? So those exams were there. I mean, still there right now. I'm not saying that. It's just that there's like a passion about it, like that you need to pass the exam by doing the hands-on. And I think what these certificates are giving the same opportunity for you guys to basically that you get the same satisfaction once you kind of give the exam. It's not just about clearing it, but going over the process, clearing it is definitely kind of makes it more attractive. And is it must or not? It's depending on your experience level, right? So if you are at a kind of a bit experienced person, then you might say, no, I worry about the knowledge perspective. I don't care about certification per se, right? But if you are kind of somebody who's kind of want to change the field, or if you are a student who want to kind of get an extra thing, right, in your resume kind of a thing, that's where it could kind of makes much more sense there to get certified. So it's must for people at least who want to change their field, who want to kind of change the ladder. But if already experienced person, you are kind of mostly eager about the knowledge, not for certification sake. So yeah.
Thanks a lot for sharing. And there's a follow-up question on that by Sarye. I believe I pronounced that correctly. So it's a salary question. How much salary increase can I expect if I manage to earn a CKA certification?
Okay, that's a tricky question. It depends on see, nobody will pay for certification. It just kind of gave a way to get you an interview in a way, right? It's like if there are 20 resumes, 5 resumes are for the CKAD certified, you might get preference over that, right? Then once you are in that interview, how you would do it, what's your previous thing, everything counts there, right? It's not that you give me a number, I get certified and I get 20% hike. Yeah, most likely that's there, but no, there's no somebody can tell you, okay, you're certified, you get X percentage hike. Nobody can guarantee you that. Yeah.
Simon, what do you think?
Yeah, I completely agree with Nipendra. Like, this is kind of a question that depends, region to region, company to company, person to person, experience to experience. So everything would matter. Your region would matter. Your company would matter. Your position would matter. The level at that you are getting interviewed for, obviously that slab would matter, and your previous salary would matter. So everything comes into place, and yeah, it definitely helps you getting shortlisted. Because if you see the LinkedIn kind of process, the how they process the resumes, obviously I told you, like CKA or CKAD or CKS, they add credibility, because when you have cleared the exam, that means you have gone through that learning curve. How to write, how to spin up a cluster, how to run pods, deployments, etc., etc. So all that things. So that's where, people would assume that this person, X person, has X amount of knowledge already. So they are the best fit for the at least for the interviews. Now, after that, when you're sat for the interview, it again goes like on the basis of scenarios that they ask. Like they might ask you to do something practical. They might ask you scenario-based questions. We don't know.
Yeah, the most thing that matters is do you have the real world experience or not? That's going to be the critical thing. Certification is definitely, it's going to be an edge, but everything matters about how much practical you can do things there.
Thanks a lot for sharing. And we have another question regarding the certifications we briefly talked about. So the question is being asked by Fagun and Nikunj. So what is the difference between CKA and CKAD, considering we are not going to install bare metal Kubernetes because we have like AKS, GKE or AWS cloud provider has installed like the manager for Kubernetes is available?
Yeah, so nothing hurts even if you know more, right? If the CKA is nothing but CKAD plus some content for manage the cluster. How do you manage the cluster and so on? So CKAD must any for CK as well, right? So CK is equal to CKAD plus something extra, right? So CKAD is must, that anyway has to happen. Post that, would you want to go for the installation part and so on? If you're just talking about certification, okay, there are two ways to look at it, right? One is if you are just trying to learn a knowledge kind of a thing, right? Then you might just skip the installation part there, right? But if you want to get certified, then of course that's a must, right? You can't skip that. So in that scenario where you don't have a must, just stay with CKAD. But if there's a must, you want to go for thing, then you can learn about that stuff there.
Yeah, and also like it depends on your future certifications as well. Like we have CKS now. So for CKS, there's a requirement that CKA you have to be certified. So again, you have to take that route if you know you have the security involved. You want to make your cluster secure, or you already have that knowledge. You want to validate that.
Yeah, most definitely. And there's a question regarding like that only. So the question is, what is the gap between training for the CKA and a real world day-to-day Kubernetes cluster management? It's a good question.
So I can take that first. So when you talk about real world scenario, how that works is basically if you are, from a clusters admin perspective, suppose you want to set up the infrastructure first. So you'll be either choosing bare metal, or you'll be either choosing your, virtual machines in some of the cloud providers, or you'll be going the managed routes that was mentioned in the previous questions, like the managed Kubernetes offerings. So if you are setting up your own cluster, then probably that comes with your, you are using cluster API, using kubeadm, and all those setup techniques that you can spin up the cluster. So that comes under the administration part, that comes under the CKA perspective. And then you will be having your the monitoring aspect that you want to have on top of your CKA, on top of your cluster setup. So basically you'll be deploying the applications. So that comes under the actually both. So CKA, CKD, they both have the Kubernetes objects, because you have to know what are pods, deployment services, because when you create applications, you'll be deploying it as your deployments, stateful sets, and exposing them as services. So that comes the second part. Third part would be like the Kubernetes troubleshooting, which also has a portion in your CKA. So Kubernetes troubleshooting that you'll be doing, so exec into the pod, see what is happening. So all these things, getting the logs. So all these things are also part of the certification. So yes, they are tied to the day-to-day tasks, but obviously when you are in day-to-day, the curriculum is very specific to certain portion of the concepts that you should know. Whereas in day-to-day life, you will be doing more production-ready stuff, which will require you more of the configurations that are not part of your CKA, CKD, or even CKS. But you will be having that knowledge. You will be able to do, because you already know all the concepts. You will be able to apply them, configure them, change them as per the needs of the project or the organization.
Every company has different way of doing things, right? So I've been training in different companies, and I know that every company has a different way of doing things. So, and you can't put everything in the exam, right? So the exam is only to kind of give you a basic, again, like a token, right? That, okay, you know something, right? But once you kind of go to the real world, it's way too different than just the exam. Correct, because every company has way of authentication, right? Every company have way of logging. They use different software, different stacks are there. Somebody on AWS, somebody on Azure. So you really kind of say that, okay, now can give me feel of everything. It's Kubernetes, along with you should know all the peripheral stuff, right? A cloud stuff, right? Maybe at least you need to know about one cloud in detail. Not everything. If you know one cloud in detail, you would know basically how does the cloud works, right, in general. And you can just apply that knowledge anywhere. And that would kind of give you a kind of more edge there.
Thanks for sharing. We have a question from Kishore, which says what someone should do after getting CKA and CKAD. How to get a production grade experience, how someone should proceed. All are asking more on production grade experience.
Yeah, so a few things to look at is, there are a couple of ways to tackle that problem, because once you get certified by you learn and you do that, right? But still, you need to switch your job, right? And that will not happen easily. So there are a couple of ways to do it. One is you basically make yourself kind of available to everybody by putting maybe, let's say, blogs, some LinkedIn things and so on. That will give you some eyeballs to your resumes and so on, right? And then maybe do some fun projects in a way, like, or join any of these open source projects like OpenEBS and so on, right? Look at their issues, what they're facing, and then try to do that, or have those companies volunteer for them. So okay, I'll basically try to work with you and maybe write a documentation for a given stuff. Company would love that because everybody have a culture of resources, and then if you can step up, it might lead to a better outcome for you. And of course, practice. I mean, how would you practice post the exams there? I think by learning to these meetups, coming to these groups and so on, where people come and share their knowledge, that will give you a kind of a feel what's happening. And then at least try to mimic that scenarios locally. Let's say yesterday we did this Argo CD thing, right? There are some students were there, right? And the comments were there, this kind of, I got to learn more than what I could have imagined in the college days, right? So what's happening in the thing? So, at least a problem statement. So first figure out what's the problem people are trying to solve, and then you can write your blogs accordingly. That would help you out.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I absolutely agree to the points. Like, you have to be, very much involved in the community. So you have to write blogs. You have to be presentable after your certifications, and you can think of scenarios like how to set up Thanos, with Prometheus for long-term storage. So you can write a blog on that, and people need that for production ready. Like, if you scale and if you need long-term retention for your metrics, you will need kind of a certain extension to Prometheus, a storage solution. And so you can have that set of blogs and you can try that out. So that gives you a feel. Again, you can do kind of, you can choose different cloud vendors, you can choose different instances size, set up a master HA kind of Kubernetes setup. So that again gives you a feel of how Kubernetes in a HA kind of environment works. So you have to, try it out. Obviously, things won't work immediately. You have to see how the CIDR ranges works, how the networking stuff works, because those are the things that gets, complex when you work in the real world scenarios. So you buy a domain and point your domain to certain, add certificates to it, point your domain to the application that you are deploying. So all these things really get important, and blog about them, create a front end and a back end application, containerize that, deploy that, see how it works. Create a stateful application, see how you can persist the data, use the open source solution like Longhorn, OpenEBS and all those, see how you can persist the data using the storage solution. So these are some of the examples. There are tons more examples that you can think of, and again, blog about them and learn that. So it will build your social profile. It will build your, get you, like Dipendra said, it will get more eyes on you. Like, okay, this person is doing, a lot of great work. So he's having experience in this, he's having experience that. So that would give you, kind of an edge after the certifications.
See, that's what, even if you look at their ambassadors here, right? How we kind of get it there, right? By involving by the community, writing the blogs, talking to people. That's the only way. It basically, so there are two ways to look at it. One is you look at the contribution perspective, right? So contribution can happen in different ways in the community here, right? One is you really write the code and be in that thing, or you help yourself along with the community learn together. That's also one way of doing it, right? So it's kind of open a lot of doors for you. You never know. So anyway, certification, I don't bother too much about it. Come some way online, make yourself available. That's the biggest thing.
Most definitely. And we have a question over here regarding some job interviews for like startups that they have come across. Some hiring managers who don't really, value certifications that much. For example, correct. They feel like that what they want is someone who actually has some experience versus just having certifications. I know we did answer like how that relates with the real world, but the question is that how would one move jobs when hiring person ignores certificates? So can we get production level experience with these examinations, or if there are any resources you would like to share?
So I have seen two kind of people, right? One is basically who is part of the just out of the college, and somebody who want to switch their career. So I have seen people who have been there for a while in the industry, 20 years right now, 15 years and so, right? And now they are finding it difficult to switch because they have been ignoring by kind of say by intentional or by non-intentional, whatever it is, they've been ignoring what's happening around them, right? So they were kind of focused on their thing, right? And then doing it. Now, what happened with that is that's a more difficult thing when you already have a higher package and you want to shift. That's greater risk than compared to for the newbies, right? For newbies, I would just say, just go and say, I want to work as an intern with you for any company for 6 months, right? Something like that, right? That's the easiest way you get the good knowledge. And I have done it a couple of times in my company. We take interns, we kind of pay them, of course, in some way, but they get to learn the real stuff, what's happening, or at least what's coming in the community or in the real world scenario. So if you are newbies, very easy, go to any company, say, I want an internship, don't pay me anything for 6 months, that's it. You get your experience, either they'll hire you, you'll get somewhere else. That's the easiest way for you to get in the real world. But for the people who are experienced person and they want to switch, for them, the only way out is to figure out some contacts or showcase their current knowledge. So for example, if somebody was in testing and now they know that Kubernetes is coming or whatever, right? They have to kind of combine that knowledge somehow, tie it together and showcase that, okay, you can take your current knowledge and do it and then take it forward. But the question was one more point you had, like if a hiring manager doesn't care about certificates, then the only way you can have is by showing your GitHub profiles, get your course content or whatever the content you can show the things, what you have done. That's the only way. You can't do any other way stuff, right? So there is no other way you can do that. And to get the experience, I think the internship is the best one. Just figure out, like you will see a lot of companies in the CNCF members, right? Just write to them, I want a internship. Would you give me? Something like that. Yeah, that's the way. That's what my suggestion would be. But yeah, there are a number of paths to kind of reach the destination.
Most definitely. And I just also want to share that we have the a scholarship form that I've shared in the Slack channel for the CNCF Cloud Engineering Bootcamp, in case you're interested in that. So just fill out that particular form. Cool. I believe we have a few more questions. Just one second. Okay, so the question is regarding the preparation. So how would you go ahead with the preparation part of CKA, CKAD?
Go ahead, Sam. You can take this.
Yeah, so there are tons of ways, and I'll share the screen as well with some of the resources, some of the links that I've already opened. Let me know if you're able to see the screen. Okay, so basically, this is the first place that you should come to. This is the curriculum, and I think Nipendra was involved in the new CKAD curriculum as well. So basically, the certification gets updated for the newer Kubernetes versions, and the questions get updated, and a lot of people get involved from the community, from the ambassadors group. So that's how the exams are created. A lot of trainers get involved. So like this, you can see there are different curriculums, and right now the CKA, CKAD, they both have been moved to v1.21. So again, you cannot prepare for 1.18 and then some commands do not work. So you have to first go through the curriculum and see what all topics are there. Now comes the preparation. So first there is like the Linux Foundation official courses that you can take. Then there are some of the open source repositories like Kubernetes Certified Administrator. So Walid and some of the folks, they maintain very good repositories that covers all the objectives with some of the links that either point to a lab or they point out to some resources, some books, some YouTube videos, and all those things. So they are very much appreciated in the community. I have seen, and even the tips section, you can see there are tips, a lot of cheat sheets that you can remember, a lot of aliases that you can use. So there are a lot of tricks that are also mentioned that you can have a look at. And same goes for Certified Kubernetes Security Specialist. Fairly new certification. People are very excited about it, and the prerequisite for this is CKA. So make sure you check out this repository as well. Very much content rich. This particular repository is. All these sections are mentioned, and all the links correspond to one or the other tutorial book and other stuffs. Another thing is that there's a exam simulator which is killer.sh. So recently CNCF has announced with each certification that you buy, you will be getting two simulators for killer.sh with respect to the certification that you have purchased. Now this is basically a complete exam like environment that you will get. So you'll get same kind of feeling when you are doing the scenarios. So this comes free when you buy the certification vouchers. And as of now, if you apply the coupon KCD 2021, you get 20% discount across all the certification and the training courses. So that is only for this particular KCD Kubernetes Community Days Bengaluru. Now there are other other what you call resources as well. Like there are courses from A Cloud Guru. They recently launched CKS course, and I think Cloud Yuga also have a lot of resources. So Cloud Yuga courses. So so Nipendra runs Cloud Yuga, and he obviously he's the instructor, and there are a lot of courses on Cloud Yuga as well. So we can explore all the courses. You can see the container fundamentals, Kubernetes administration, developer. So all these courses are there. Then you have Mumshad's Code Cloud. So that also, like CKS course was just launched, and CKA, CKAD, they always get updated. So I think there are a lot of courses that you can go through. Now these courses go in depth, and then they have mock exams, practice exams that will help you to prepare to give you the exam kind of feeling. And the killer.sh will comes free with your whatever you have whenever you purchase the exam. Also, like for the CKS, I also wrote a book on Let's Learn CKS scenarios. So this is only for the security exam book. Again, the same coupon of KCD 2021 applies to this book as well. So if you purchase, you'll get again 20% discount. So these are some of the resources that you can do. Now, two most important things that from CNCF that we are kind of have started. One is the Certs Magic Show with Sayam, with myself. So we have started a Certs Magic Show, which runs bi-weekly on Thursday, 8:30 p.m. The first episode just went aired last Thursday. It is just about, like, I gave the high level view of what certifications are and what are the agenda and all that. We will be preparing, and I'll be going live with some of the instructors, trainers, and other folks who are actually involved in making those certification exams. And we'll be discussing some of the sections where we'll be discussing some theory, and then we'll be doing some of the live scenarios. So make sure you subscribe to cloudnative.tv. It's official CNCF channel that is there. And Certs Magic with Sayam is the show every bi-weekly Thursday, 8:30 p.m. that you can join. And if you join live, we do 2 coupon giveaways on each of the shows, which is 50% discount coupon on the certifications. And another thing is, like, there is a webinar on, especially for CKS, that I'll be doing on 22nd of July. This will be by Sysdig, so you can also join that. So basically the whole agenda for showing you all these resources there are tons of resources. There are tons of free repositories, then there are few paid resources as well. And all these courses like Nipendra courses or Code Cloud, they are very valuable because they teach you everything from scratch. So if you if you don't only want to practice on Killer SH and you want to go through some concepts as well, so then these courses definitely help you learning all these concepts from beginner to kind of a certification ready person.
Yeah, one more thing, of course, is documentation of Kubernetes, right? Kubernetes docs are really good way of doing that. The only thing missing there is the flow, what I see there, right? Because if you go to that documentation, they might not follow the flow of the exam perspective, but the content-wise is very rich. So, I mean, you can just skip all the courses and everything. You can just focus on the Kubernetes documentation itself and go each and everything. At least for dev and the CK exam, you will find each and everything there. Because the CKS exam, I think, contains some other tooling as well, which is not part of main Kubernetes thing, Kubernetes code or the documentation. So that you might learn on your own maybe or figure out. But you don't need to spend any money. Just look at the documentation and look at the syllabus, match it, and you can very well do it.
Most definitely. Well, thanks a lot for joining, Sanyam and Nipendra. Really appreciate it. And I believe we answered most of the questions that we got. And just one last thing for everyone who is joining. If you have more questions, make sure you check out the CNCF Slack. And yeah, Nipendra, go ahead.
I just have one more point to make here, right? People like we get kind of so nervous to give the exam perspective, right? And exam might be too difficult. Just remember one thing: so it's a complete ecosystem, right? Like Kubernetes, CNCF, members of those community, they want you to get certified. They would not make the exam so difficult that you can't clear the exam. So companies want more people to get certified. You want to get certified, and there has to be a match, correct? So the exam is not trying to make you like make you a superhero kind of a thing, right? You are there to just kind of be that common denominator, right? You just kind of pass that first hurdle of that, right? That's the exam, correct? So don't get too nervous. They want you to clear the exam as long as you know just enough, right? So exam is just a first step, right? Yeah, that's all.
And also you get 2 attempts for each exam you buy. You get 2 attempts to to clear the exam. So that's also where they have made it kind of easy. So if you kind of clear in first attempt, you get the feel, and the second attempt also you can take and give the exam.
Most definitely. Some really nice insights shared in this session and would really help a lot of people, including me. So thanks for joining, Nipendra and Sanyam. Really appreciate it.